Hello everyone, today I'll read the story Lettle number 8 in the Big Word Story. This chapter, The Sugar Snow. So let's read. For days the sun shone and the weather was warm. There was no frost on the windows in the mornings. All day the icicles fell off one by one from the eaves with soft smash and crackling sounds. In the snow banks beneath, the, the trees shook their wet black branches and chunks of snow fell down. When Mary and Laura pressed their noses against the cold window pane, they could see the drip of water from the eaves and the bare branches of the trees. The snow did not glitter. It looked soft and tired. Under the leaves, it was pitted where the chunks of snow had fallen, and the banks beside the path were shrinking, and settling. Then one day Laura saw a patch of bare ground in the yard. All day it grew bigger, and before night the whole yard was bare mud. Only the icy path was left, and the snowbanks along the path, and the fence, and beside the wood pile. Can't I go out to play, Ma? Laura asked. Ma said, may I go out to play? She asked. You may tomorrow, Ma promised. That night, Laura woke up shivering. The uh, bed covers felt thin, and her nose was icy cold. Ma was tucking another quilt over her. Snuggle close to Mary, Ma said, and you'll get warm. In the morning, the house was warm from the stove, but when Laura looked out of the window, she saw that the ground was covered with soft, thick snow. All along the branches of all on the branches of the trees, the snow was piled like feathers, and it lay in mounds along the top of the rail fence, and stood up with eight white balls on top of the gate posts. Pa came in, shaking the snow off on his shoulders and stamping it from his boots. It's sugar snow, he said. Laura put her tongue quickly to to a little bit of snow that lay in a fold of his sleeve. It was nothing but wet on her tongue, like any snow. She was glad nobody had seen her taste it. Why is it a sugar snow, Pa? She asked him, but he said he didn't have time to explain now. He must hurry He must hurry away. He was going to Grandpa's. Grandpa lived far away in the big woods, where the trees were close together and larger. Laura stood at the window and watched Pa, big and swift and strong, walking away over the snow. His gun was on his shoulder. His hatchet and powder horn hung at his side. His tail boots made great tracks in the soft snow. Laura watched him till he was out of sight in the woods. It was late before he came home that night. Matt had already lighted the candle when he came in. Under one arm, he carried a large package, and in the other hand was a big covered wooden bucket. Here, Caroline, he said, handing the package and the bucket to Ma, and then He put his gun on its hook over the door. If I'd met a bear, he said, I couldn't have shot him without dropping my load. Then he laughed. And if I dropped that bucket and bundle, I wouldn't have to shoot him. I could have stood and watched him eat, watching them and lick his chops. Ma unwrapped the package, and there were two hard brown cakes, each as large as a milk pan. She uncovered the bucket, and it was full of dark brown syrup. Here, Laura and Mary, said, and he gave them each a little round package out of his pocket. He took off the paper wrap. They took off the paper wrappings, and it has a little a little hard brown cake with beautiful crinkled edges. Bite it, Pa said, and his blue eyes twinkled. Each bit of one little crinkle, and it was sweet. It crumbled in their mouths. It was better even than their Christmas candy. Maple sugar, said Pa. Supper was ready, and Laura and Mary laid the little sugar cakes beside their plates, while they ate the maple syrup on their bread. After supper, Pa took them on his knees as he sat before the fire and told them about his days as grandpa and the sugar snow. So this is the end of 5 pages. Bye.